Greetings, greetings, greetings. It's Eric Backer, naturopath from New Zealand, author of Candida Crusher, and formulator of the CanXida range of products. I've got a question here that was put to me through my Facebook page. You can check out my Facebook page, Eric Backer ND. So I've got my own sort of like professional Facebook page, and people often come in there and ask questions or check out some of the posts I put in there. So Freda is in Sweden, and Freda, very common Swedish name. I really like Swedish people. I've got many Swedish patients I talk with. Freda is saying, can my house be the cause of my Candida infection? Swedish people talk a little bit like that. Pretty cool people. So Freda, you live in Sweden like I live in New Zealand, and if you look at people that live in, like for example, Canada, Scotland, Sweden, these sort of cool, damp, temperate sort of areas, they can be quite prone to molds, different mildews and molds. If you can actually see visible mold or mildew on walls, or see dark spots in different rooms, that's a really big problem. It tells you that you're going to have a ton of freely circulating different spores floating in the air. Dr. Leo Galland, the mold expert from New York, calls these tiny little floating particles bio-aerosols. And these contain fungi and different types of yeasts and molds actually in them. They float around. Like tiny little satellites that float in the air, you can't even see them. So the people that if you're a type of person who will feel better in one house and worse in another, or you go and live in an apartment or a flat or a house and all of a sudden you develop a sickness, or you move from an apartment into another house and you get better, there's a big chance that that environment may have been a problem. And often, if it's a damp place, first thing you do is check out the molds, check out the bathroom, check out the bedrooms, look at the ceilings, look at the walls. If there's any dampness at all and you're coughing and you're sick, you need to get the heck out of there. I'm just going to read out some symptoms. I've got my other computer up here. Typical symptoms we find with exposure to environment, and these are the ones we're looking at. We're looking at blocked nose, cold or flu-like symptoms, coughing, difficulty breathing or shortness of breath or wheezing, hay fever symptoms, hair loss, itchy nose, itchy eyes, itchy ear, irritated or itchy skin, itchy throat, nasal congestion, bloodshot or red eyes, running nose, sore throat, sinus congestion, watery eyes, wheezing, sneezing. So you can see there are a lot of ear, nose and throat kind of symptoms, because these are the areas that are where you're going to get the primary initial exposure to these bio-aerosols. You're going to breathe them in. In New Zealand, we've had a big problem in the early 2000s with what we call leaky buildings. So many thousands of houses were built very quickly to meet a demand, and a lot of these homes were not insulated properly, and the roof wasn't constructed properly, and there were a lot of builders with poor qualifications making these houses, and a lot of houses were leaky as a result, which caused an incredible amount of health problems, asthma and lots of disease with people. So can my house be the cause? It definitely can. It can either bring a Candida problem right to the foreground and exacerbate it, or it can cause a problem through the mold exposure and develop a really big immune dysfunction. In some cases, these can lead to autoimmune disease and serious illness. So doctors don't take mold exposure at all serious in a person's environment. They laugh it off sometimes. Just like Candida, they don't even take it seriously. So my answer to your question is yes, your house can be the cause of Candida or a mold problem. So the reason why Candida not necessarily floats in the air, but if you've got already Candida growing in your body naturally, but it's in balance, like about 1 in 4 people have, it can become an overgrowth or a problem due to mold exposure in the air, which can trigger big immune responses and allow immunity to become compromised and allowing Candida to become opportunistic and to become a big infection. There are different tests you can do for mold, but in my opinion, you're better off just really temporarily moving into another house to see how you feel. And if you feel a lot better in a different environment, then you want to move out of that house permanently, get out of there. If it's a rented house, many landlords are reluctant to fix these problems up. If it's your own home, spend the money, get it done properly, fix it up. That's my answer. So I hope that gives you a little bit of understanding there, Freda. Thanks for your question. If you haven't gotten my Candida report, please click on the link and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.